My name is Sharyn Bovat. I'm the Nissan whistleblower. Well, I'm in Washington, D.C., and I'm trying to figure out what to do with my life. You see, I have had this amazing experience, horrible experience, when in 2009, Nissan executives made me the #2 security risk for Nissan. They did it because of my pedigree. I come from a family that did intelligence work. I was third generation. I really was probably the lowest level person. I just gathered information. I went to places like embassies, parties, events. I was what you would call a friendly fixture. And I just heard things, then people would say, so tell me about your trip. Tell me about everything. We want to know every detail. Who did you have lunch with? Who did you have dinner with? Wow, that is so cool. Oh my God, tell us more. Come on, Sharyn. You got to remember, you got to tell us exactly what you did. And that's what I did. I did what I did as like a tourist. I was a tourist. That's it. And, you know, I never would have blogged about it, but I kept getting bullied and harassed. Now, I do know that people at the Obama White House knew about Nissan taking $1.4 billion for a car that was going to be built with outdated technology. They were taking this money. And they, at the same time, are doing business with Iran. Nissan directly with Iran, and also Renault, the parent company, is a big person, a vendor of a car company that provides cars in Iran. Actually, Renault's sales in Iran have doubled the last year, 2 years, and that's because other car companies have pulled out. So here I am, and I'm a whistleblower, and I whistleblew about just wasteful spending. It was spending originally done by this money that was given by the state of Tennessee. You see, I was just a relocation consultant. I was a person that worked with high-level executives, that helped them find a home, worked on, you know, getting their social security number. I was just a friendly person that worked with executives. But I did work with Carlos Tavares, who's now the COO of Renault. And it's a long, complicated story, but the blog was really just supposed to be about bad spending of Tennessee taxpayer money and discrimination. You see, women in management at Nissan went from 20.9% in 2006 to 2009, the year that I whistleblew. Now, after I whistleblew and I told Mr. Tavares about some situations, I started telling him things in February, and I kept working with him, and then my past didn't work at the Nissan office, but I still had to work with Mr. Tavares. And oddly, since I drive a Honda, I would have to meet people to get keys to the Infiniti. At one point, I met Judy at the Embassy Suites Hotel across the street from the Nissan headquarters, so I could get an Infiniti, so I could drive the wife of Mr. Tavares and Mr. Tavares in a car that was, you know, not a Honda. So, I mean, the whole thing is very complicated, but I just want to let people know that I just started talking when they identified me as the #2 security risk, and a Nissan employee accused me of using an alias. I knew I was outed. I knew I was outed for doing this research that I had done in the 80s and early 90s, and I was terrified. And they knew what I knew, but nobody else knew. And everybody that I knew, I left that world in '93. And there was really, and then the people that I did know that went on in '93, some of them went on to work in the W administration. They did counterintelligence in the W administration, but they were political appointees. I mean, I really didn't know who I could reach out to, so I reached out via the web. And what I want is, I don't really know what I want. You know what I want? I want a life. I want Nissan just to mediate for everything they've done to me, and they've done a lot. Go to SharynBovat.com, SHARYN, Bovat.com. And I just want to move on, and I can't. Nissan, the only reason why I went back in that July was because I had gotten this letter that was ordered by Dominic Thorman, and he, after I put on my blog, was sent back. He actually left. He was the guy that talked to Congress to get the $1.4 billion. He went back to France because I put on my blog he was a bad spender of taxpayer money. And then I sent an email, and I actually put it on my blog that that letter had to be void, and if it wasn't void, then you have to send me a FedEx. And I really wanted them to get a court order saying that I couldn't be at Nissan. They didn't get me a court order because they never took that information. Yet they still were able to jail me for trespassing, which was ridiculous, especially had the DA asked me. I would have said, look at these emails, look at this communication, look how many people read my blog. Over 2 million people read my blog. over, 800 blackberries. Then I'm told by the Ben Bradley winner, Mark Silverman, that, it was Rahm Emanuel that was ultimately responsible for squashing my story. And sure, okay, great. Okay, it could be national security. I mean, my God. I mean, my uncle he served on the airport and airline commission for Reagan and Bush. He led it. He was chief pilot of Pan Am. My mother, she lived in Tokyo and she hired people to protect America to be flight attendants. She was chief stewardess for an airline in the 50s. And my grandfather, post-World War II intelligence. And my family has always been honorable, and we love America. And I never, ever would have blogged about any of that, ever, if Nissan had not bullied and harassed me and jailed me 3 times. And I want to let people know, what happened to me cannot happen to anyone else, because I can't find help. Nobody wants to help me because they're scared, because they don't want anyone else identified, national security, yada, yada, yada. All this stuff that I know about, I was told over 10 months ago was not classified. Everything on my blog, because it's secondhand information, it's whatever. I'm not classified. So why am I treated like I'm classified? Why do I not get respect? Why is Eric Holder's office not chomping at the bit to bring down some people that wasted money that do business in Iran? Why? I want to find that out. But I'm going to find it out by just sitting quietly and listening to a bunch of people, and I want to understand Americans' national security. Have a great day.